It's the Dominic K. Morning Show here on RadioOnFire.com. Thank you for joining me. A lot of people thought that we were past this stage. At least I did. Many Democrats, many Republicans thought that we were past this stage in the battle for health care. But the Republicans behind the scenes, the sneaky Republicans, have been putting together this high-stakes gamble to steal your health care. To steal it, because that's what they want to do. Senate Republicans, they've made this calculated decision, and they think that it's better to fail again trying to repeal the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare, than to not try at all. So this is a bet made out of fear. For some reason, Republicans feel that you don't deserve to have health care. They feel that it's not a right. But I think that it really is a right. And many people agree with that sentiment. But they're making a last-ditch attempt to repeal Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. September the 30th is the deadline. And this deadline is not an artificial deadline. This is a real deadline. September the 30th, if they're unable to bring this thing to a vote and pass it before September the 30th, then all bets are going to be off. Then that's their final chance. And we've said this before. But what's so significant about the September 30th deadline is that after that, the rules are going to change. They're not going to be able to squeak by with 50 votes and then having the vice president cast that 51st vote to get this crap through that they're trying to call a repeal. The thing about it is that they're sneaky. They've been laying in wait. But here's the problem. If they had a good bill, if they had a bill that was going to help the American people, they would have revealed it already. They would have. But they don't. All they've done for the last 8 years, 7-8 years, is complain because President Obama and his coalition got the Affordable Care Act through. They've complained. They've bitched. They've moaned. They've whined. They've cried. But they didn't come up with any solution to fix some of the challenges with the Affordable Care Act. They've been hell-bent on repealing it because it came to be law under President Obama. And their hatred for President Obama is what fuels this whole thing. This is not about the American people. It's never been about the American people. This latest Republican effort to repeal the Affordable Care Act is the worst one yet. It's the worst one yet. What's unfortunate about this is that they waited to the last minute. A lot of the people that were mobilized, it's kind of hard to get them reinvigorated. This is another attempt at from the Republicans to take away health care from millions of Americans. What they're trying to do, in the words of President Obama, former President Obama, would inflict real human suffering on millions of Americans. And that's just not hyperbole. That's a real fact. That's a real statement. You taking health care away from the elderly. You taking it away from cancer patients. This is going to really affect people with pre-existing conditions. States under the Republican version of a health bill, and I have health bill in air quotes, their version is going to make it hard for people with pre-existing conditions to even get coverage. It's going to be up to states. And they want to go back to the way things used to be. They want to turn the clock back to when, if you had pre-existing conditions, you were fucked. That's what they're trying to do, the Republicans. The law has led to major increases in the number of Americans with health coverage. The Obamacare Affordable Care Act. And it's very aggravating to see these Republicans again and again and again. I criticize Senator John McCain for coming back and kind of allowing the process to go forward when we were really nervous the last time. And he came and he made the right decision. So I want to commend him for that. But we're really going to need John McCain and some of the Republicans with conscience to not support this. Now, Mitch McConnell says that they're going to bring this thing to a vote next week. And the Senate Majority Leader, he's really been a thorn to the side of the American people. But they want to take your health care away. And the fact that so many people are unaware of this is my biggest fear, because many people don't even know. Pressure was put on these Republicans before, but now a lot of people are not even aware that this is coming. A lot of people. But they're going to at least consider holding votes till next week on the new legislation to appeal the Affordable Care Act. They failed in August, and hopefully they will fail again, because if Alaska's a senator and John McCain and some of the good people don't come together, I mean, this bill should not be considered. It is terrible. They're going to have to get some type of a CBO score, but there's not a lot of time to get this. But Republicans campaign so often on this, and they're just really trying to carry out a campaign promise. Republicans, you do not want to be on the wrong side of history. But Senator Tillis and Grassley are part of an outspoken majority of Republicans who want to go full speed ahead, and they don't give a damn about the consequences. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn about you. The leading voice behind this brand new legislation, Lindsey Graham, piece of crap, Lindsey Graham. However, more than 23 years in Congress, Graham has shown that he has little to no knowledge on health care. And this bill that they're trying to rush through the Senate floor without much vetting, September 30th is D-Day. It is the D-Day. But if they're unable to do it after September 30th, I don't think that it's going to get done. So Susan Collins from Maine and Rand Paul of Kentucky seem to be opposed to it. So what they're trying to do now is trying to win over some people. And I'm really nervous about this. I'm really nervous about this. A lot of the Republicans are banking on Senator Graham's longtime friendship with John McCain. Of course, we know John McCain, brain cancer diagnosis, and we'll got to see what's going to happen. I mean, it's really sad when you think about it, because after all of this talk, this health care repeal that the Republicans are trying to sell is just, it will hurt Americans, and it will hurt them badly. No matter what they say, they are trying to push forth a campaign promise just because. And it's definitely got to be frustrating to people to have to mobilize every couple months just to keep the elected officials from inflicting real suffering on the people. But that is how progress is won, and that is how progress is maintained. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. We're definitely going to keep you posted on this. Good or bad, the fight continues.